What's going on? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boxing Clinic. YouTube exclusive. Follow us on all three platforms. Of course, here at YouTube. Subscribe so you know we get to drop the new dope shit. Instagram, the Boxing Clinic 313, and on Facebook, simply the Boxing Clinic as it is spelled on here. Last video I'm dropping for the night. I'm just gonna cut this Errol Spence shit off at Sunday and Monday, the holiday. Enjoy y'all Memorial's holiday over there in the States. We talk about Adonis Stevenson from 4. If something else comes out about Earl being injured or what he gonna do next, a kill injury come up, I'll be on here talking about that. But as far as that, this is the cutoff period where we done talking about it. It's a lot of people talking. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. Obviously, if you see my last video I just posted, first video of the day I posted, what Terence Crawford saying, I see what y'all don't see, and I see what y'all don't see in these fighters. Basically saying I see something that everybody else don't see to the naked eye, and I'm pretty much guessing that he was talking about Errol Spence. He did congratulate Earl on Twitter, and I'm he has to be talking about Errol Spence. He can't be talking about Kell Brook because he called Kell Brook a quitter. And he said he see what he see. He sees something in Errol Spence, but at the end of the day, a lot of fans think that Terence Crawford can just walk on water and walk through brick walls and shit like that, and his fandom is at an all-time high, and it should be. But at the end of the day, he hasn't faced anybody the size of Errol Spence. Comparable, Thomas Delorme, and Delorme was giving him all he can handle at the time, but I think it was just a patient thing. He knew Delorme didn't have a jaw, but he knocked him out. But Hank Lundy is a smaller guy, Gamboa. Diaz was a smaller guy. Ricky Burns is a tough son of a bitch, but he's a smaller guy. Klimov was a smaller guy. Ray Beltran is a smaller guy. British Prescott, he was a big puncher, but he's a smaller guy. So he fought a lot of small guys, and as far as he does get hit a lot. A lot of people don't, I guess they don't see that, but he gets hit a lot, and can he withstand the Errol Spence body attack and the punches that Errol Spence gives out? Errol fought a big puncher in Kell Brook today, a decent puncher, and I think Kell Brook is probably a better and stronger welterweight and a bigger puncher than Terence Crawford would be at welterweight. He doesn't get the credit that he deserves, but he's a good puncher. He caught Triple G's attention. He caught Spence's attention some yesterday. And for Crawford to have to beat Earl, it would have to be a flawless boxing exhibition he puts on him. And I haven't seen a flawless Crawford fight yet. But once you move in weight, your styles do change. And I always make this comparison to Floyd Mayweather. He was an offensive machine from 35 on down. When he got to 40, he started to be a little bit more defensive conscious and more judicious with his punches and more accurate and planting more. And Terence Crawford has to make that adjustment as well. He has to shore up that defense because those punches that he got hit with Gamboa, he got hit by Diaz, got hit by Thomas Delorme, he got hit by Hank Lundy with, those are the type of fight-changing punches that at welterweight will put your lights out. Yeah, you can box, and that's good, and you can punch at 140, 135. But can your punch authority move up to 47 enough to get a big, full welterweight like Errol Spence attention, a guy who walks around at 180? Terence Crawford outweighs every opponent he didn't fought so far. He's not going to outweigh and out-physical and bully Errol Spence. It's just not going to happen. Today, tomorrow, 3 years from now, 10 years from now, it's not going to happen. And he has to box a flawless boxing fight versus Errol Spence. The defense has to be tight. The offense has to be clean. The punch output has to be there because Earl is the type of guy who gives it. Who gets it as good as he gives it. And when he gets to giving it and you start slowing down those later rounds, it's over with. As far as Bud has never been in a high-pressure fight with a monster like Errol Spence. He avoided Ruslan Provodnikov and Lucas Matisse at 140, which would have been a nice tune-up fight. Victor Postol was a big guy, but I'm pretty sure him and Crawford weighed about the same. If not, I think Crawford probably outweighed him on fight night. So he haven't really fought the explosive punchers yet, and I won't classify Errol Spence as a huge game-changing puncher, one-punch knockout like Matisse was at 140. But he's the type of guy that can get you out with one punch, but he does it by accumulation to the body, and then once he get the fire into the head, he wears you down. So can Crawford stand up to that? Can he box him for 12 rounds and make him look stupid? Because Earl has some skills there. And it's yet to be seen. We have to see him at 147. But for people just to act like Crawford would just walk through Errol Spence, I don't think so. His weight class is for a reason. And for that reason, he would have to fight perfectly. Honestly, he would have to fight a perfect fight to beat Errol Spence. He had to box him. This is a guy who out physical a big welterweight in Kell Brook. You know, Terence Crawford is not going to be the biggest guy. You know, he's not going to be the bigger puncher in there. He can be the more skillful fighter, but can he buy enough time with his feet to be able to box Errol Spence for 12 rounds? And Earl is one of the best at cutting the ring off. Kell did good giving him angles early, but you know, Kell's a tough fighter. He's a tough fighter, even though people want to say he quit, as Terence Crawford did. But, you know, it's a whole different game when you in there from looking on the outside and inside. It's a totally different game, even for a boxer.